Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla, and I'm so thankful that you stopped by for a visit today. I'm always so happy and thrilled to visit with you guys. I'm happy that I'm here today and that I'm able to be here. That's such a blessing. And you'll see I have this wrap on. It's I don't know what it's called, but it is very, very soft and it's warm. And I've just been freezing, and I'm a hot natured person normally. I've always been hot natured. I'm always the one that, can't get cool enough. But for some reason, I have just been freezing here lately. And I have a suspicion, but don't know for sure. A few weeks ago, I had an iron infusion. My iron is always low. I'm always anemic. And I have to get iron infusions every now and then, several times a year. And so I had an iron infusion a few weeks ago, and I know he said I was supposed to have two, one week, and I don't know if it was the next week or the following week. I was supposed to come back in for another iron infusion, but it's not scheduled, and so I think it's been about 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks now since I've had that iron infusion, and so I didn't get the follow-up iron infusions that I think I was supposed to have. So anyway, we'll get that settled out at my next appointment with him. But that's probably why I'm so cold. I mean, that's all I can really figure out. I don't know. Who knows? So today I'm drinking caramel apple tea. Is that right? Caramel apple tea, and it is just delish. Sometimes I make this as cups, and sometimes I make a whole pitcher of it. And so I had made a whole pitcher of it, and it's so good. I love that tea. I love flavored teas, and just trying new things and such. Um, well, I hope you're all having a great day. So far, I'm doing okay. Making the best of my morning so far. I hadn't had enough of a day to mess it up yet. Oh, last night, my oldest son, Dakota, he's 30. He lives across town. He had called. I was in the bed. I felt really bad. I was freezing. I was freezing, and I just felt bad. And so I had gotten in the bed, and I had dozed off, and then my phone was ringing, but my tablet was on, and I woke up and kind of was like trying to figure out why my tablet was making that noise, and then realized it was my phone. So I answered it, and it was Dakota, and he said, "What y'all doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." He said, "Well, I'm on my way over." And he wanted to get some of his things out of the attic, and I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." I mean, I'm always thankful when my kids come. So I told him, come on. And so I laid in the bed a little bit longer, and then I heard Phoebe barking, and I thought, oh, that must be Dakota. Let me get up. So I got up and ran to the bathroom real quick and got in there, and he came in, and he's so sweet. He is so caring, and I mean, he loves me so much. He does. And he came in, and he said, "Let me see your finger." So he looked at my finger, and he just hugged me and just kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." So then his brother came in. He was waiting on his brother Elijah to come in to help him get some things out of the attic. And so that's what they did, was got things out of the attic, and then they were in the kitchen talking for a little while. And I was sitting in the parlor at my desk, and I was just feeling really bad, really bad. And so I went in there and stood in the kitchen with them for a minute, and then I said, I need to go lay down. And so my kids always, when they got older, of course, they always tucked me in at night. I know we're messed up, but my kids always tucked me in. And so I asked Dakota, I said, "You want to tuck me in?" I said, "I know you missed that." So they came back there, and I needed Elijah to get me out some of my slipper socks that I make, and put a pair of those on me too. So Elijah put slipper socks on me, and Dakota tucked me in and covered me up real good. So I laid there and watched a little bit of movie, and then I got bored with it, and I turned it off. And I laid there, and I could hear Dakota and his dad in the den talking. So I just laid there and listened to them talk for a little while. That just made me happy that, a 30-year-old enjoys coming to hang out with us and just sit and talk and visit. And so I laid there for a little bit, and then I needed to go to the restroom. So I got up, went to the restroom, and then I sat at my desk for a while. And then when Dakota came back in there after he had, finished talking to his dad and everything, it was getting kind of late. And he came in and said, he was going to go on so he could get his stuff ready for work in the morning and all that. He's a chef, and so he has to make sure his chef coats are clean and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we had a good visit with him. It was good to see him for a little bit. Even though we didn't do anything special, it's just good to see your kids, right? And if you're new here and don't know, we have two sons. Dakota is 30, and our youngest son, Elijah, is 22. So today, what are we talking about? I finished a project. Oh, let me tell you this. Today is supposed to be Mandala Tuesday, but it's not. I was supposed to have Mandala Tuesday today, but I haven't worked on it. I didn't do Mandala Tuesday last week because Big Daddy was in the hospital on Tuesday, and I kind of just flew out of here, going to the hospital. He went in the hospital on Monday, and then on Tuesday I went and sat up there with him. And so I didn't do Mandala Tuesday last week, and then this week, we traveled out of town for my doctor's appointment. We ended up staying out of town for 2 days. And the mandala blanket is not the blanket to take on a road trip to work on in the truck. I have all these colors. I have this whole box of colors to change to and all that. And so I didn't take that, of course. I took something easier to work on. And so, I just haven't worked on it. That's the honest truth. So we will get back to Mandala Tuesday, but I was going to dedicate this week to working on my fair projects because I'm working on projects to enter into my local fair, which is entry date is next Sunday, that's October the 2nd. But anyway, I even scrapped that last night. I just felt so bad, and I just felt like I was pushing myself a little too much there. So I decided I'm not going to try to finish Candyland Christmas. I'm going to finish it before Christmas, before December, but I'm not going to try to finish it all this 1 week to enter into the fair next week. I can finish it by Christmas and enter it in next year's fair if I feel led to. So anyway, saying all that to say, I'm up in the air about what I'm doing, but I had to just change some things because I just had, with just sickness, health issues with me and Big Daddy, and my, pinky being so sore and inflamed and hurting so much. I just didn't need to push myself. So, there's that. Okay, so I did finish a project though. If you remember a while back, I did this sweet little koala baby. I just love this. And this pattern is from, I believe it's from a Zumagurumi book. Now, I'd have to go back or you can look back in my videos and find the video for this because I always title my videos whatever they're about. If I show a project in it, I always title my videos, whatever that project is about. But I think it's a Zumagurumi book, and maybe the 25 favorite Zumagurumis. I believe it would be that one. I'm sure. Anyway, so I made this sweet koala baby, and there is a leaf that goes with it, but I think it got put in my fair box, even though this isn't going to the fair. But I just love that. I think it turned out so adorable. Well, I decided to make something to go with that. And I'll show you what I'm making, and I'll tell you how I got here. Look at this cute, cute blanket. A little baby blanket with a koala bear. Can y'all see that? Isn't that just cute? And here is what I ended up putting around it. I just love how this turned out. I think it is an adorable little set. And I'm not entering this in the fair. I just made it because at the time I had just so much going on, and I was just like, I felt so stressed. And when I get stressed, I don't work on any projects or anything that I have deadlines to do. I don't work on anything of importance. I just kind of like push everything to the side and I started a new project. Like, that's the smart thing to do, right? And so that's what I did last week. I started that let's see, we went out of town on Thursday. On Wednesday, that's what I did. Like, instead of getting my stuff ready to go out of town, instead of working on my fair projects, instead of doing anything that I should have been doing, I started a new project because that's how I roll. And so I do want you to see my little set here. I'm gonna pop in pictures here so you can see the baby blanket and the little koala with it. Isn't that just so adorable? I love that. I totally just am in love with that little set. It is so cute. So, if you want to know how I got here, I got a book in the mail. I got this book in the mail the other day from Lynette, and it's a book I had on my Amazon wish list, and I was eventually going to buy this. when I come across things that I'm gonna eventually get or I want or something, I always stick them on my Amazon wish list in case my kids or husband happen to click on that to want to give me something, but they never remember to click on that. But anyway, I had this on there, and Lynette saw that and sent it to me, and it is so stinking cute. So we're going to talk about this book. This is Crochet Animals, Blankets and Blocks by Ira Rott. So let me see if here's a page that kind of shows a lot of the pictures, projects or whatever in this book. You can see they are all super adorable. Like, there is not one in here that I don't want to make. I want to make them all. Now, do I have time to make them all? Probably not. But I will tell you the different blocks that they have. There's a penguin block, koala, dog, panda, pig, monkey, hippo, a cat, sheep, sloth, a lion, a raccoon, a cow, a unicorn, a bunny. So these are so cute, right? And I think the general idea of this is that you do these blocks. You do these blocks like this, and then you put them together to make a blanket. And there's another picture right here of the panda one right here. So that's the main idea of the book, I believe, is you do these blocks and then you put them together. So this book is just, it is the cutest blocks. And it does not really take that much time to make the initial block. So I started with this red heart yellow, and you start at the bottom of the block. So I started down here, this yellow right here, not the granny stitch row, but the but the row above that. You start there. I think you chain like 45, and so you go and then you add in your koala. And I had this color that I did this koala in right here. I got that at Big Lots. It was a Karen 1 pound. And not Big Lots. I got it at Ollie's. And so I had quite a bit of that left over, even though I have used it for another project too. But anyway, I joined that in and did my koala face. And so I created the whole block, and then I went around at one time with the red heart yellow that I made the block with. I went around at one time and got the granny part started. And then I had this Karen cake, and I think the name of it was Toasted Almond, and I don't know that it's still on the market or anything. It come from Michael's. Probably a while back, and maybe even on clearance then, so it's probably not, but I think it was called Toasted Almond, and it is some yellows, white, and different shades of blue, and some of the blue looks a little gray blue. So anyway, I had that big cake of that. I don't remember how many yards was in it, maybe like 502. Does that sound right? For a big Karen cake? Maybe. Anyway, I had my block, and the block was that big, right? The yellow. So I just joined in that Karen cake, joined it in one of the corners, and just went around and did the granny stitch around it. So made this baby blanket, so you can see the size of the blanket. And here's the top, and this is how long it is lengthwise. So I thought it made a good size for a little baby blanket. I love how it turned out. I loved working on it and putting it together. I just think it's so cute. The ears are attached, and then they're kind of loose right here, but they're attached at the bottom here. And then the nose and the cheeks and the eyes. I'm not sure how it meant to do it in the book. I ended up slip stitching my eyes, and they turned out really good. There is a part of the eye on the back that you can just see where I slip stitched it, but I tried to keep that as clean as possible. But it turned out really good. I love that. I love it. I love it. So this book, oh my gosh, it's so many cute projects in here. Now I'm probably going to use it the way I did this one, make the squares and then do a coordinating color around the square to make baby blankets, because I think they're so cute. Now at some point I would make several of that block to make into a blanket of the blocks. I might do that at some point. I don't know. I really like this sweet little bunny block too. That is so cute. Like, they're all just adorable. There's not one in there that I can be like, oh no, I wouldn't make that. I would make them all. You can see that. So cute. I was trying to see what they suggest for block blankets. They have it where you can make a one block wonder, and that's where you make it and like put a dowel through it to hang on the wall or something. They have, you can make pillows out of those blocks. It's kind of a backpack you can make, a toy bag. I thought somewhere it listed like different size blankets that they suggest or something. But anyway, you can do whatever you want to do with those blocks, right? And I think I like the idea of making the baby blankets with them. So I started another one last night. Let me find it real quick. I decided I wanted to make this panda one, the little panda face, and make some other little panda projects to go with it. So I started to work on my panda. Let me move this one out of the way. And I was making it the same way I made this one. And by the way, the book does call for a H hook, which is a 5mm, but for blankets, I just prefer using a J hook, which is a 6mm, and so that's what I did that blanket with, and that's what I was doing this blanket with. So here is the one I started last night, and I wasn't happy with it, so I stopped, and I wasn't going to go on any further until I, could figure out what to do. You can see I've carried the red, and you can see it through the white, okay? And every time I finished a row, I was pulling my red really snug to, pulling it snug. I lost my words. Every time I would finish a row, I was pulling my red really snug to pull it tight in there so it wasn't gappy or anything like that. Well, I was pulling it so tight because it was still so showing, and pulling it until my blanket ended up, it was like curving in like that. And I was like, oh no, that's just not going to work. That, you can see here, it's coming inward because I was pulling the red each time I would finish a row like this. I was pulling this red really tight, and you can see that you can pull that like way too tight, but I was pulling it tight trying to make it work, but you could still see that red through there. And so I was just like, I'm not going to work on that no more. Let me just go to bed, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do in the morning. Well, sometime in the middle of the night, do you ever do this? Do you think about projects after you've gone to bed? Sometime in the middle of the night, it came to me that I'm doing it wrong. I did the other blanket wrong. This blanket right here. I carried the yellow, but you can't really see it on this blanket. If you're looking really close in person, you can see that there is yellow carried behind that blue, but it's not noticeable as it is on this red under the white. That's very noticeable. That one was not noticeable, but I realized I'm doing it all wrong. Like, so the pattern does clearly say, and this is what I have mine, I have it hooked to, my white and my red. The pattern clearly says your main color and your color change one, and then it goes on to say, two double crochets in the next stitch, changing to main color from the bobbin. Well, I don't know. In my mind, I was just thinking this was my bobbin. And so I was laying in bed, and I guess I was thinking about it. I don't know. But it finally came to me like a bobbin. I'm supposed to have a bobbin. A bobbin. And I realized I need a bobbin of the red. I need two reds because I can work on the red, change to the white, drop the red, do the white, pick up the red, do the red, turn, same thing. Use the red, change to white, drop the red, do white, and then pick the red back up. So It dawned on me. I know what I need to do now. I know. So anyway, yeah. Do you guys do that? Do you like can't figure out a project or a project's not working out for you, and then after you go to bed or something, then you realize what you're supposed to be doing? Like you realize you was doing it wrong, and so yeah. So now, and I think now that I even know that part, I think that I can make these even faster now. Like it just makes more sense now that I know how to do it. And I read the directions, like I was reading each row how to do it. But when it would say bobbin, I was just thinking skein, my skein. And but now I realize have my skein on one end and my bobbin on the other, and it's going to work out. Okay, so the book also does give a chart. If you read charts, I I don't read charts, but from working on that mandala with Mikey from the Crochet Crowd and him going over the charts, I have picked up like what things mean and a little bit how to read a chart. This is very basic and very simple and easy to read. So when I made the koala one, I did look at the chart, especially when I was doing that first round of the granny stitch still in the yellow, because in the book it said something about I can't remember what it said, and I'm not even on the right pattern. I think it said something about doing the granny stitch every 2 stitches, skipped 2 and then do 1. I think that's what it was saying. But then when you go down the side of your double crochets, that can get tricky. So I got my book and I counted the double crochets. It's kind of hard for me to handle this. I counted the double crochets coming down the side, and I folded my it was a rectangle. I folded it in half, and I put a stitch marker at half, and then I folded that half in half and put a stitch marker and did that on both ends. And I just kept working with it like that until I got the correct number of granny stitch clusters. And so it worked out. I was able to do that, and I love how it turned out. And so I want to make more of these little baby blankets, and like I said, I want to make this panda one, and then I'm going to make a few little panda things to go with it, a panda rag doll or whatever. But I need to rip all this out and do it the correct way instead of the wrong way, because that red being carried behind the white just does not make sense, because you see the red, and I don't want to do a crappy project. So yeah. But I'm glad that came to me and that I figured out what I was doing wrong, and so now I can work it up and do it correctly. I just got to make a bobbin of the red, and actually I may have another skein of this red yarn, and that could be my bobbin skein. That could be my bobbin skein. So anyway, yes, that's what I'm working on. Like I said, I'm finished with my fair prep projects, I believe. I have a lot that I can enter. I don't really need to do other projects to put in the fair. I just need to get all that together to get up there and get it in the fair. And my son Dakota is going to come back Sunday and take us to the fair. I'm talking me and you. I'm going to take you guys with me to enter my stuff into the fair. And so Dakota's going to come Sunday. afternoon and take me up there to do that. I told him, I said, are you coming Sunday to take me to enter my stuff in the fair? And he said, yeah, I will. I said, okay, I'll rent the U-Haul truck. He just laughed because, yeah. Is my shirt on backwards? No, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. That's a big possibility. Um, Today, my youngest son, Elijah, is off work, and so he is going to take me. I need to go to the hospital and give blood for labs. The doctor I saw last week in Shreveport, and I see him again next week. He ordered some lab work, so I'm going to get that done today. This will be my only chance to get by the post office to mail my yarn fairy package to Crystal from Chronically Crocheting. So I need to address her envelope and get that in the mail today. And hopefully Elijah will run me by there to do that. And then I need to just pick up a couple of things in town that we are out of, necessities. And so I hope I can hold up to do all that today. Like I said, I haven't been feeling too well, but you got to do what you got to do, and I got to have things from town. Businesses do not deliver where we live. We live in the sticks, and like Walmart doesn't deliver groceries here. Of course, we can do an online pickup, but I haven't done that yet, and so it's kind of too late to do that for today. So we either do it or we don't. But guys, I thank you for stopping by and visiting with me today and seeing my little koala baby blanket set, and I love that, and I hope you enjoyed seeing that. And I will be back with more projects soon. Bye, friends. I hope you all have a great day. It is a beautiful day to crochet.